Hi, everybody. I wanted to post a video that would be helpful during these stressful and anxiety-ridden times. This practice would be great to use anytime, though, that you just want to feel kind of more stable and supported. I know for me, when I'm feeling kind of anxious or jittery, for me, like doing poses that have some repetition or some familiarity tends to help me calm my emotional state. So we'll do some different practices for that, do some different breath work for that, and just use the wall. So if you have a place in your home where you can have a wall space, that'd be great. But if you don't, you can do these same practices without a wall space. So we're going to start standing up nice and tall. So take a moment just to find your feet, wiggle your fingers and your toes, just to connect to your body as much as you can. Take some deep breaths in and out, and really feel the earth beneath you. Feel your breath, and just kind of notice your state of being in this moment. And then we're going to start to just do a little bit of shaking. Sometimes anxiety and stress is something that we feel around us, so you might just be feeling the collective stress and anxiety. So I like to imagine if I've kind of gotten any of that on my shoulders or my body, I just kind of shake it off, slough it off. So you can kind of shake arms and legs, shake your head, kind of feel it, kind of let it go. And then after you do that, take a moment, pause, reconnect to your being. Sense in. And then we're going to do a little tapping where we're going to go through and tap our entire body. So you're going to start from your legs, go all the way up your body, and you're just kind of feeling your skin, feeling the boundary of your body. And I really like to do this when I feel like frazzled energy that might be connected to external things, to kind of really feel my own body and my own boundary. So just gently tap. When you get to the back body, when you get near the adrenals and the kidneys, just tap at the back of your hands really gently. Same thing, tapping lightly as you get to the heart. Go down your arms. Top of the back. Get your face, especially the head. Maybe you massage a little bit lightly on your face. And then check in again. Breathe. Notice how you feel. Those practices alone can be helpful just in the middle of your day for a quick reset. If you notice that you're feeling kind of that frenetic energy or kind of that buzzy energy of anxiety or stress, shake it off and then tap it out to come back into your own body and your own experience. We're going to start with some movement and some flow just to get the body warm. And for me, movement's always a way to reconnect to my physicality, especially if my mind is somewhere else. We're going to do our best to connect breath and mind and body. So we'll come standing at the top of your mat. We'll take our hands to our heart space, reconnect to your feet. And on the inhale, stretch your arms up. Even look up and gaze if that's okay for your neck. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, long spine. And we're going to step on back to plank to hold. And we're going to take 10 breaths in a plank pose. And in this plank, really spread out your fingers. Really feel the connections between your hands and your toes and your entire core. Deep breaths as you tone your abdomen and feel that strength of your plank, pressing from the back body into the hands and from the front body lifting into the back body. And then come forward. You can set your knees down if you'd like, chaturanga to your belly. We'll do cobra here. So pull the hands back and lift up. Pause for 3 breaths. Anchoring through the pubic bone, through the feet, and pulling back with the hands. And then exhale, release. Come back to child's pose. And then all fours to downward facing dog. 3 breath cycles. And really connect to your breath. That exhale can be out through your mouth. When we feel anxious or stressed, breathing out through the mouth can help dissipate energy. So 1 more breath cycle. And then step forward on the next exhale to the top of your mat. And then inhale to rise, long spine, recreate that plank. And then inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to the heart. We'll repeat that. Inhale. Exhale. Long spine, inhale. Step back to plank pose. 5 breaths this time. Slowing it down, pausing, connecting to breath, and connecting to our strength. And then tip forward, chaturanga. 3 breaths in cobra. To really broaden the chest, set the shoulders down your back, feeling strength at the back of the body. And then back to child's pose for a brief pause. All fours, downward facing dog. 3 breath cycles. Spreading out your hands, broadening collarbones, feeling the heaviness of your heels sink to the mat. Then on this 3rd exhale, come to the top of your mat. Long spine, recreate plank in the upper torso. Exhale, fold, all the way up, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart. We'll do it one more time. So starting with something familiar that can help calm our mind, especially when we feel like things are out of our control. 5 breath cycles. So even if you just did a few sun A's, come down and then rise into cobra. Let your shoulders drip down your back, freeing your neck. Release down, child's pose. All fours to down dog. And it helps me sometimes to count my breaths, just to slow my mind and to give it something to do that's more productive than worrying about something or getting lost in a lot of thoughts. 3rd, bottom of your exhale, step forward. Long spine, fold on your exhale, and then look up, reach up, hands to heart. Pause and re-check in. Just noticing any shifts or changes into your mood, into your physicalness. We're going to come over to the wall space. If you don't have a wall space, it's okay. You can do this without. And I'm about, a couple feet from the wall, and I just want my kind of sitting bones to touch the wall. So the lumbar spine, the low back's not on there. So you can bring your hands up to chair pose if I want it to be a little bit more intense. I can walk the feet forward. I can have my hands at my heart. I can have my hands out. I want you to pick a pose that feels solid and stable for you. This is all about connecting to our legs, our parts of our body that stabilize us and support us. So we're going to stay here for about 10 cycles of breath. So whether you want your arms out, I want you to feel stable, strong, and supported. So check in with what that means for you. Deep breaths, exhaling through the mouth, anytime you need to dissipate energy. Make sure your neck is relaxed and your jaw. Especially watch the tongue. Try not to press the tongue in the roof of your mouth, but let it relax kind of down into the lower palate. Even going to lower my hands for the final few breaths just to feel that openness of the chest. Then as you're ready, press into the wall. You can, again, walk the feet enough forward that just the sitting bones touch the wall and forward fold. Shake your head and neck. Maybe sway. Then you're going to press away from the wall and slowly come up to standing. We'll incorporate that chair pose into the next round of work. So as you're ready, again, I like feet apart for chair pose. If you want your feet to touch, that's fine. Hands at the waist. Find that plank position just standing in Tadasana. And then as you hinge forward and find more weight in your heels, find that same strong chair pose that we found before. Stay here for 3 breaths. And then exhale, forward fold. Long spine. Step on back to plank. Just 1 breath here in plank. And and then come forward. We'll go all the way down, but we'll have a locust pose. This time we're just gonna pull the hands back, lift the legs, lift the chest. So it's like a bridge between cobra and locust. And again, one more breath cycle. We're staying for 3. And then we're gonna lower the feet, but keep the chest rising as we lift up and come back to downward dog. Reset for a breath cycle. And then take your right leg and lift it up. And then step it forward for a warrior 1. Hands to the waist to lean forward to get a long spine before you rise up. We're gonna have 5 breaths in a warrior 1. And again, on the way down, lean forward, lift your back heel, take your hands down, plank with one leg, hold. Lower the leg, come forward, all the way to that bridge between cobra and locust. Down, keep the chest lifted as you press up, and downward dog. Just a breath cycle to reset. The left leg will lift up, and then we'll step it forward. I have about a kind of a hip distance between my legs. I'm gonna come forward and readjust my hips and get long through the spine so I can feel the strength of my legs and then rise up for 3 to 5 cycles of breath. Really giving yourself time to arrive in the shapes that you're not rushing. Anxiety and stress tends to speed us up, so we want to slow our body down just a little bit so we can feel gravity. And then we'll come forward, lift, hands down, and then we'll lift the left leg just for a moment. Really working into your core. Then once again, come forward. That bridge of locust and cobra for 3 cycles of breath. Lowering the legs, press to plank, and then 5 rounds of breath. Really finding the breath, slowing down your rhythm, reconnecting to sensing hands and feet. On that 5th exhale, we're gonna hop forward. We're gonna go long spine, and then we're gonna bend the knees and come right into chair pose. 1 full breath in and out. On the next inhale, rise and lift. Hands come to the heart. And then reconnect. I'll keep saying that so you can keep coming back to yourself, so you're not lost in the movement, lost in thoughts, that you can keep connecting your body and your brain and your mind into the same location. And once again, hinge at your hips. We'll go 5 rounds of breath in a chair pose. I like to sometimes wiggle my toes a little bit. Feeling the weight of your legs. And on the exhale, fold forward. Once again, long spine. Step on back to plank. Come forward. If you want these, if you want to skip them, you're welcome to just go right back to down dog to hold. And then just 1 breath cycle in down dog. And then your right leg is going to lift up. Then we're going to step it forward just like we would go into a warrior 1. But we're going to hinge and lift that heel, and we're going to come into a warrior 3. Bring our hands to meet at our heart or forward. Trying to lengthen and lift from the back leg as much as we press down and lift away from the standing leg. 2 more breath cycles. We're holding for 5. Then we're going to bend the right knee, and we'll come back into a warrior 1 for a breath. And on the exhale, hands down. And then the right leg comes out. And then one time we're going to go knee to our nose, come back into that plank, and then we can set it down, come forward. Locust variation. All the way down, plank to downward dog. Just a breath to reset. And then the left leg's going to lift up. We'll step it forward as if we're going into warrior 1 just to get our feet set before we lift the heel. And taking our time, we step into warrior 3. So I'm having my hands at my heart. Your hands can go forward. Breathing and connecting to that lifting away from the earth. Then bending the leg, stepping it back. One breath. Make it slow and rich. Then hands down to the floor. You keep the left leg lifted for a moment. Then go knee to our nose. Left leg back out. Foot down. And then again through a flow if you'd like. Again, that repetition can feel nice and familiar. And then we have 5 rounds of breath. I like sometimes sighing on the exhale. And again, ways to dissipate tension and stress. You can bubble your lips. That can also be helpful. Also makes you smile and laugh sometimes. Bottom of that exhale, hop forward. Then again, sit back, hands to the heart or forward. One full breath. Now the next inhale, look up, reach up, and then hands to the heart. Pause and check in. So we're going to do that one more time, changing it up just a bit. When you're ready, sit back, reach your arms forward. 5 breaths. Really noticing the weight of your legs, the strength of your legs, and the earth beneath you. And then folding forward, long spine. Step it back to plank just for a breath, just enough time to find that plank. Spread out hands and toes all the way down. Again, just a breath. Then we're going to lift that right leg up. Take it forward. This time it's a warrior 2. So I have a heel to arch and I take my time and coming all the way up. You can look over your front hand, even turn the palms to flip up. That can be nice. Even gaze at the back arm if that helps. Just kind of noticing where you feel drawn. Settling into your breath. We're here for 5. Take one more deep breath. And then we're going to hinge forward or come forward. Right leg lifts. Adding on this time, knee to nose. One leg plank to one leg downward dog. Lifted. Take a moment here. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then coming forward to plank, putting the right leg down. You can either stay here and work the plank work, or you can go back through. Downward dog. Keeping it really simple. And then the left leg lifts up. And we step it forward for warrior 2. And again, choosing an arm variation that works for you. I'm just going to turn so you have a better view. Letting the shoulders soften down your back, finding your breath. And as you're ready, you're going to cartwheel the hands down to the floor. The left leg lifts. We go knee to the nose. Back to 3-limb plank to 3-limb down dog. Then slowly coming back into that plank. Left leg down. Go through the flow. Lower down. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Remember, counting your breaths can help you stay present. Then looking forward, bending the knees, chair pose for a full breath. And then straightening arms and legs, reach up, hands to the heart. Pause and check in. Sometimes we only need a few minutes, and that calms our body down, we reconnect, and we feel relief already. Okay, we're going to come back over here to the wall. Similar to where we were, but now we're gonna find eagle pose. So you might start with right leg down, left leg on top. We'll do the opposite arm on top that you have on top of your bottom leg. I want to pull my shoulder blades away from the wall, but I also want to feel just like that top kind of crest of the low back or the pelvis on the wall. I'm squeezing my legs, I'm squeezing my arms so I can feel that strength, but I'm feeling also the wall behind me as support. Really stretching into the back body, opening up the scapula. Maybe the head falls forward a bit. Then I'll have you unbind the arms, using your hands press away. And then we're gonna switch sides, so coming right back into it. So again, if my right leg's on top, my left arm's on top, and go right back in. So I'm squeezing the thighs, squeezing the arms together, shoulders are down the back. And I'm just feeling this wall behind support. Release your arms, release the legs. And again, I'm gonna go a little wider this time, maybe as wide as my normal wide leg fold, but maybe not. Then again, it's just the sitting bones that touch, and I'm gonna reach the arms forward. Shake it out. You might sway. Then bending the knees just a little bit, pressing and lifting up. Coming to the top of our mat again. We're gonna finish with some lowered and high lunges, opening up the frontal hips. And that's gonna we're gonna check in with those familiar sun salutations, the different series of the sun salutations. So as we're ready, we're gonna reach up, we're gonna do a little back arch. So if you need support, you can do your back arch with your hands at your waist. Exhale, fold. Tuck and curl in a squat and lift your chest. If you like hopping back, you can hop back, otherwise you can step back. Plank, chaturanga, and then locust pose with your arms flying back and your legs lifted. Stay here for a few breaths. And then again, lower down, press up to plank, exhale to down dog. Your right leg's gonna lift up and then it's gonna step forward, knee to your mat. Stretch and reach up. If you can look up, great, and if that bothers your neck, just allow your gaze to be forward. 3 deep breaths. And then exhaling, hands to the floor. We're gonna come back to that same work we did. Knee to your nose. Back into the 3-limb down dog. Slowly coming into that one leg plank. And we're gonna tent the left palm. And then flatten the palm, lower the right leg, chaturanga, locust, release it down, all the way up to plank, and then down dog. Breathe in, breathe out. 2 more rounds. And we'll step the left leg forward and drop to the right knee. Reaching up, lengthening. Hands down. We'll hover the left leg. We'll go knee to our nose. Back into that hovering leg. Back into a split dog. Nice and slow, lowering it, and this time tenting the right palm. And then flattening it, going through a flow. Remember to take your time. Lowering down, and then downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Look forward. Hop into that little squat. Lift your chest, look up, forward fold. Then into that back arch. So the hands can support, and then hands to the heart. Pause and check in. And here we go, arms reach up, look up and stretch, forward fold. Little squat to lift up. And again, you'll hop back. I'm going to show stepping back this time. And again, you could hold plank, and that's always good work that slows everything down so that you stay really present. I didn't bind the arms that time, but you could have. Then resetting. The right leg's going to lift up, and this time we're going to do a high lunge. So take your time in lifting up. My back leg is lifting. I'm really feeling that front heel sink. Then I'm going to slowly come on down. That right leg hovers. Knee to my nose. Hovering again. Right leg up and back. And then slowly coming forward. And then my left arm tense. I'm trying to get my hip points facing down. And then both hands down. Coming forward. Again, taking my time, I can hold plank or down dog if I need to adjust. Downward facing dog. A breath or two just to reset before the left leg. Coming forward. Again, coming up nice and slow. I don't want to feel like I'm rushed. So I'll do whatever I need in order to feel unrushed. And then slowly coming down, this time on the left leg, hovering. Knee to my nose. Back to the hover. Slow work to lift the leg. Slowly coming down and tenting my right palm, just for a few breaths. And then I lower down. And then back up to downward dog for 3 breath cycles. When I'm ready, I'm going to hopper step forward, long spine, and then I'll tuck and curl, lifting my chest, folding again, then arms up, sweep up, look back, little back arch, hands to the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. The last side, we're going to do lunges back for our sun seas. Inhale, reach up and look up. Exhale, fold. We're just going to do a long spine, then we're going to step back with the right leg. Knee to the earth, reach up. And then hands down, plank. Just plain old plank. We'll go chaturanga to locust. And then all the way down. Downward facing dog. Three breaths. And then right leg down, left knee down. Right leg up, I should say. 3 rounds. Hands down, step and fold. Long spine, fold again, and then reach and look back. Hands to the heart. Check in. So really simple work, nothing too creative or complicated, so that your mind has some ease in familiar shapes, ones that possibly you've done a lot. So notice kind of how that's affecting your body and your spirit. So we'll do a little bit more work to get into some twisting and some hip work, which always is nice. So we're going to find tree pose with the wall. And so I'm going to find that my inside leg will be my tree pose leg. Actually, my inside leg is my standing leg, rather. No, I said that right. Doubted myself. So I'm going to stand on my left leg, and I'm going to bring my right leg into tree. So I can either let my knee kind of pull itself up. So you can't see this, but my right knee is on the wall. My left leg is standing. My left arm can come up, and I'm going to just stretch. If I even want to reach towards the wall, I could add that on. So I'm getting a nice lateral stretch to my left side seam, stretching out through my left toes so I can feel the circumference of my left heel and the widening of my arch. Sometimes when we're stressed, we tend to want to like grip the mat or hold on to whatever we can. So just trusting the wall, trusting your feet. And then slowly coming up. And we're going to reset. So my right leg's my outside leg, and my left foot is in tree. And I have to adjust the distance depending on what I need. And again, it's just the part of the kneecap that's touching the wall. And my left hand just kind of lays on top of my thigh. The right arm is up. I could just stay upright and kind of work this lengthening of the spine, or I can reach over towards the wall space. I think I might want to relax my neck or look down. Slowly coming up and resetting. Awesome. Come to the top of your mat. Bring your hands to meet at your heart. We'll take a deep breath and stretch up. On the exhale, forward fold. Long spine inhale. And then we're going to exhale, stepping back to plank. And then to downward facing dog. We're going to go figure 4 down dog, which means my right leg hooks on top of my left knee. And I'm going to bend the left knee generously to allow my hips to stretch on the right. Keeping again that long spine as I let my hands press down and forward and my hips lift up and back. Breathing in, breathing out. Then release that right leg up. Bend the knee, rotate the hip. Keeping the left hip fixed, I'm lifting through the right hip. And I'm allowing that ankle to release and roll. Strong through my shoulders and my core. Then my right leg's going to be forward. And I'm going to come into warrior 2. Interlacing the hands, lifting up, gazing up if I need to, and feeling a lift of the diaphragm, a lifting of the energy out of my lumbar spine. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Now as I'm ready, I'm going to release the hands and I'm going to come down and towards the inside edge of my right foot. My hands will come towards a down dog. So my right shoulder and my right inner thigh move apart. My legs are strong. If you need a hand on block, that's fine. Or even hands on fist works too. Good. Walk towards your inside of your front foot. And you're going to peel into a side angle variation. So if I had a block, I can place my hand on a block. I'm going to open my left side waist. Maybe the hand stays at my waist or somewhere in my rib cage so I can feel my breath. Breathing into the side of my waist. Then I'm going to turn and let my back heel lift, and it's going to be a low lunge twist. So if I need to reposition, I will. I can use my hand to press into my thigh on the right and peel open. Really churning at the belly. Good, as you're ready, untwist. Bring your hands down to the mat and come into tree plank. So the right knee is out to the side. You can't see it on the camera, but my right leg is out, my right foot's in the inner thigh. I'm going to come forward to a baby chaturanga and come all the way down to the floor. Top of my left foot down. If I need to scoop my right knee up, I can. Otherwise, I make a pillow for my forehead with my hands. 5 breaths. When you're ready, plant those hands, come back up to that tree plank, and back into that scorpion dog. You should be able to just lift it up and back. And then return the right side or lift back up and then come into a pigeon stretch. So the knee is facing my right wrist. My right heel is towards my left hip point. If this is not appropriate, go ahead and come onto your back for a figure 4 stretch. Similar to what we did in down dog. Now I can stay lifted if that feels good. I can come down onto my forearms or on blocks. We're not here too long. Feel free to move side to side and rock. Really settling into your breath and the sensation around your hips. And as you're ready, the hands come down. Plank, if you'd like to go through a vinyasa of whatever choice you have, you're more than welcome to do that. Otherwise, down dog is a great holding place. Take a few rounds of breath, side out. We're going to go to that left side. So the left leg is in figure 4. My right knee bends generously. And again, just feeling that sensation in that left outer hip this time. As you're ready, that left leg floats up. I bend the knee and roll the hip. Notice my right hip doesn't roll inward. It stays like it's in down dog. You can roll the ankle. I'm going to step it forward for a warrior 2. I'm going to turn so that you have a better view. We'll come right into warrior 2. Nice. So if you liked this position, that can be great. You can also bind the hands the opposite way this time to pull the shoulders down the back. Noticing the effects of each. One giving you more space across your chest. One alleviating any heaviness in the lumbar spine. Both might be helpful. As you're ready, you're going to slowly kind of slide your torso at an angle and then release your hands down. So my legs stay in warrior 2. Depending on my flexibility, I might have to stack my hands on blocks, or if you have books at home, or I can even just make fists and come underneath my body and lengthen my spine out towards the diagonal. But do be careful that that left thigh is moving towards the center of your left foot, not coming along with your waist. And now just breathe and sink in. Awesome. And then as I bring my hands in, I'm going to come inside my left thigh, right hand to that waist to peel up. And again, if you want a hand on a block or maybe just holding onto your ankle, it's okay for that top hip point to angle down and forward, but peel open the heart and the chest, lengthening your tailbone. Then it's a prayer or just a twist to release. So right hand down or on a block. Left hand can come up or to the thigh to get a good active press and twist. So you get a better view, I'm going to turn. We're going to come into that tree plank with the left foot in tree. Just like that. Pausing there for a moment before we come forward and lower all the way down to the floor, making a pillow for my forehead. With my hands, I'm just relaxing. My foot might come away from my thigh. I could scoop the thigh up more if I wanted, or I could just keep it right where it is. And just let your belly press into the earth and release. Feel your thighs relax. Even if your posture doesn't look much like tree anymore. And then as you're ready, when you come up, I tuck my back toe. I can even keep that back knee down so that before I come in. And then it's that scorpion dog. Releasing it down. And then we're going to bring it forward to pigeon. So again, I might need to come onto my back, like so, if that's a better shape for me, or I could continue pigeon. Again, you could stay upright. Things to watch for is any tension in the knee. Sometimes squeezing a sock, if you have a yoga strap at home, that works. Helps alleviate knee tension. If that doesn't do it, it just may not be the pose for you, and then you can still get a great lateral hip stretch on your back. So as much as you can, just tune into your breath and feeling your body. Nearing the end of our practice, so just checking in. You can move around. Sometimes that feels good. And when you feel ready, your final vinyasa flow, if you'd like to. Otherwise, you can just go plank to down dog if you don't feel the need for one. Then go ahead and set your knees down. And we're going to come to a seat. Soles of the feet together. So an option that I really like, if you tend to feel like your pelvis tucks under and your lumbar starts to overly round, is to place the block down and put your feet on the block so that I can keep a long spine. You can see my spine might feel a lot longer. If you didn't have a block at home, a stack of books works, pillows. Again, I'm going to lift the chest. I'm going to let the thighs relax. Just get one nice spinal hip stretch. Start to scan your body, just noticing how your body feels after this practice. I filmed it outside because really another stress relieving practice is just to go outside and be in nature. Hear the birds and the sounds of nature, feel the breeze. It's beautiful and sunny today, so feeling the sunshine can be very healing as well. Nice, when you finish, you're gonna lift your legs up. So an inversion of choice would be great now. So you have a wall. So using a wall for an inversion can be a great support. Also, just using a block can be nice. I'm going to show you the wall today in bridge in two different ways. So if you want to just use the block, I'm going to lie on my back, and I'm going to put the block in whatever setting it fits in the flat part of my spine. Then this is just my supported bridge for a moment. If I want to use the wall, I'm going to place my feet on the wall at right angles. So my knees and my ankles are in one line. So I can keep my hips down, or I could actually lift my hips up, coming to the top rim of the shoulder blades. So we're going to stay here for 10 breaths. So pick whatever position feels nice for you. If you can, hand on heart, hand on belly, or one hand on the heart, one hand on the earth. Feel your breath, feel that support beneath you, even the wall on your feet if that's what you've chosen. Feel the breath into the back of your body as the back of the heart and the back of the lungs. Feel the mat. So you can slowly walk down. You might decide to take Shavasana by lying on your back. Otherwise, I'm going to show you a little meditation or kind of breath practice that you can do to finish. Hand on heart, hand on the earth, in whatever way you want to sit. Just take some deep breaths, and on the exhale, really let your body sink and feel your touch, connecting into your heartbeat, to the rhythm of your breath, to everything underneath. Just reminding yourself to be present, to stay in the moment, and to support yourself and whatever practices that you know support you. Whether that's breathing practices, movement, being outside. So I'll leave you to your own Shavasana, your own breath work. Thank you so much for watching. Please post comments below of any requests that you have for other classes or any questions that you have about this class. It's really a joy for me to be able to offer things when we can't practice in studios and when I can't see and connect to all of you. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope that any of the poses that we did or the practices we talked about would be helpful anytime you experience stress and anxiety, as we all do. is a part of being human. Support yourself, love yourself. The light in me supports and honors the light in you. Namaste. Bye.